Hello all and welcome to Wild Crochet Designs. My name is Mary and in today's tutorial we are working on part 2 of our Kisslock Purse or Kisslock Glasses case. Now part 2 is all about attaching our first set of squares. If you are doing the Kisslock Purse you need 4 colours down, 3 rows across. If you are doing the Kisslock Glasses case, 6 colours down and 3 colours across. So it's pretty much the same, it's just that the Kisslock Purse only needs to do 4 colours down instead of the 6. So everything is exactly the same. So no matter what you're doing, by the way, Kisslock Purse, yours will look like that. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Yeah. Glasses case, yours will look like that. Just for this part. All right. So you will need the same hook you are using, which is the 2.5, or that you used for your squares. You will need your very next colour, which is the light teal cotton. Now we use the same type of cotton for each square, so be careful, make sure you use the same type of cotton. This is a 4-ply light 2-weight cotton that I used for the squares. You need the same for the border rounds. All right, now this border round can be slightly tricky, so if you are brand new to crochet, take it nice and slowly. If you are really struggling with this particular border round, please leave a comment in the comment section down below, and then I can leave a link in the description box down below for an easier join. But take a risk with this. It's a little bit difficult, I admit it, especially around the corners, in the centers, but you know what, take a risk, learn something new today. Try it again. If it stresses you out too much, please leave that comment there for me and I will change it for you. At the end of this tutorial, you will have that complete. All right. And what I do within the tutorial, I show you how to do all the other colors. So all the other sides, if you will. Yeah. So let me show you the sides real quickly so you can see them. There is 1 and 4 is there. You can see it. I'll show you in the tutorial as well. But just so you know where you're headed, this is where you're headed for now. We need a 3, don't we? Okay, there's a 3. All right, but your piece at the end of this tutorial will look like that. You will have done piece 1. I've numbered them for you so you don't have to worry about them. And I just show you how to do each colour across. Then once you complete number 1, I get you to head off on your own and do the other colours. But don't look at that yet because that's not the way it's going to be done. You will see it all within the tutorial, all right? So that's pretty much it, guys. I don't want to hold you up anymore. Don't forget, if you would like to do part 1, the link to part 1 is in the description box down below. Head over there and make the little squares first and then meet us back here and then you can complete part 2. All right, a very special thank you once again to Tim Tam Tina, we call her, Aussie Tina, for her colour combination in today's tutorial. She chose the colours you saw today through a thing called Live Antics on Saturday mornings. We have a live every Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Melbourne, Australia time. Marry that up with your country. And you too can get to choose the colour combination of our very next tutorial. All right, I'm going to let you get started creating part 2 of our Kisslock Purse or Kisslock Glasses case. Good luck all. Alrighty guys, so here we are with our colour coordinations. Now this is my colour coordination and I've sorted it out for you so you don't need to. However, you can do whichever way you like, but this is what I've done, right? That's the base of my purse and I've numbered them for my benefit so I can see where to put things. And that's one side of the purse, that's the other side of the purse, another side, and yet again another side. So the base of the purse is there. These 4 corners will all close up together. All right, now that's if you are making the glasses case, right? If you are making the Kisslock Purse, yours will be a little bit smaller. Same diagram, and it's pretty much, oh hello, that's the wrong one. That goes there. That's why I numbered them on purpose so I didn't mess up. So there you go. So what I've done is I sorted out the base one And then I added the sides to match the base. So some of the sides, your purples may match, your grey will match there, your yellow will match there, and another purple will match there. So you will have more than one matching in different colours and less in the other and so on. It doesn't matter. It all adds up. Believe it or not, it all adds up. So you don't have to worry about this. I did it so that you don't have to do it. Okay. And what we're going to work on is number 1 for now. Okay. And we're working on number 1 Kisslock Purse glasses case or number 1 Kisslock Purse. So either way, everyone is working on number 1. That's the purse, that's the glasses case. We're going to do that now. I want everyone to grab a yellow. Like so. Too easy. Yep. Remove that for now. So we're going to start using the yellow, but we want to make sure we're on the right side of our work. And that would mean these little V's you see here, they look like the letter V's, yeah? They're facing you when you're looking at the right side of your work. If you were looking at it on the wrong side, your little V's will be going down the back. That shows that's the wrong side. Plus, you would have had your beginning tail on the wrong side, all right? So we are working on the right side of our work, right where your little knot is. Go above your knot, pop your hook in that corner like so, and grab your new colour, which is the light teal. Teal, blue, green, blue-green, whatever you want to call it. Yarn over your hook. Pull your loop through like so. And you're just going to grab that tail and pass it forward for a minute, just to lock it into place so it doesn't come undone. And we're going to chain 1. And we're also going to crochet over that tail with a single crochet US, double crochet UK. And that is popping your hook into the same space you're in, pull a loop through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through both those loops on your hook, and pop your stitch marker in that stitch there. Now this is a stitch marker you're not going to touch for a long time, so just leave it there. And then you're going to chain 1, and you're going to pop your hook in the space again with another single crochet US, double crochet UK. Hook in, pull a loop through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through both those loops, and you're there. There is another corner space there, but we'll worry about that later, okay? So let's just remove that blue tail and just pop it at the back now, all right? And you want to put single crochets US, double crochet UK, in every one of these stitches across. And you can notice how I pull my work right over so I can find that stitch. The first stitch, if you can have a good look at it, that's 1, 2, and 3. That first stitch is snug in there. Hook in, pull a loop through, 2 loops, yarn over, pull through both those loops. And now we're going to do the second stitch. Into the second stitch, pull a loop through, 2 loops, yarn over, pull through. Let's do the third one. And then we're going to put our corner set. And a corner set consists of single crochet 1, chain 1, and a second single crochet, all in the same corner. And you want to grab a stitch marker and pop it in, if you can, just in that chain 1 stitch. Might be a little awkward, but don't stress too much. We'll find it when we need it later. So pop your stitch marker in there and just move your work over, and you need to find your first double crochet there so we can pop a single crochet in it. 1, that's in the stitch right there. 2, that's 2 loops on top, if that helps you. Yeah. And 3. Gorgeous. You want to pop another corner set there, but not a complete corner set, because we're going to turn around and add another yellow in a minute. But let's just pop a single crochet 1, chain 1, grab another yellow. All right, grab one more yellow. I'll explain that to you in a minute, but just grab another yellow or whatever color you're using for. Let's get the one. We're going to be going through all of these yellows, right? So whatever color is your next color. Mine is the yellow, and whatever yours is. If you're doing the same as us, then it's the yellow. And the same thing here, you want to pop your hook, not in the corner with the tail, but in the very next corner. So you've done your single crochet, chain 1, pop your hook in that next corner and pull a loop through, tighten it up. and you're going to finish off a single crochet there, like so. Yeah, lift up your loop. Now this is a tricky part, but once you get it, you get it. Yeah, ignore the stitch that we've just completed, ignore the chain that we just did, pop your hook in the first stitch, which is the corner stitch on the opposite side. Pop that loop on your hook. You might want to make the loop a little shorter, not too much shorter, because you need to have a little bit of looseness here to get it through the stitch. So you want to hold the other piece and just pull that loop through like so. All right, it's a tad tricky to begin with, but you do get into a flow later. All right, so what you want to do now is go right into the very next stitch. By the way, you're still working on the right side of your work of your new piece. Yeah, be careful. So you're going into the very first stitch, which is right there, snug in there, doing a single crochet, lift up your loop, and don't miss that first stitch or you'll be short. And now all you're doing is skipping the stitch you are in, skipping that loop that looks like a stitch but isn't, and go into the next stitch, which is the opposite to the stitch you are in there. So go into that stitch, pop the loop on, pull it a little bit, and then just pull it through like so. But when you get here, you need to make sure it's a little bit tighter, not too tight, yeah? Single into your second stitch, like normal, pick up that loop, ignore the stitch you are in, that weird little tight loop there, and then jump straight into the next stitch there. Loop on your hook and just pull it through. Find what's easier for you. If it's easier to do it on the table or bench or wherever you are, then that's fine. So we're going to single crochet into the third stitch, like so. Whoops, don't lose your loop. Lift up your loop, go over to the third stitch on the opposite side, like so. Pop your hook in, pop the loop on your hook, not too tight. When you pull it through, you can tighten it up a little, yeah? Single in the corner. Okay, we're in the corner now. Single one in the corner, lift up your loop, go into the first single here, which is near your chain one. So hook in and pull a loop through like so, yeah? Chain one. Oh, you might want to tighten that up. That was a bit too loose for me. Lift up your loop. That stitch marker is where you want to pop this loop, right? I'm going to remove it so I know where I'm going, and just pop it in the space, the chain one space. Pop the loop on your hook and again pull it through, chain one to get out of the space, and single crochet over on the opposite side to finish off your corner. And now you're going to single crochet into the 3 stitches across. 1, 2, 3, and single crochet, chain 1, single crochet in the corner, placing a stitch marker. Single 1, chain 1, single, 2. Pop your stitch marker in the corner, chain space. That's the stitch, we don't want it in there. We want it in the space right there. All right, and then you want to do your singles across this way. Remember your single 1, 2, and 3. And in that space, pop a hook in. If you've got a tail like me, just pop it at the back and single 1 in that corner first. Yeah, chain 1, lift up your loop, grab yet again another yellow. All right, so I'm going to show you one more time and then you guys can head off on your own and complete the set. All right, so let's do that, and this is where the repeat pattern will start. Okay, so it starts from here where you literally have your single crochet and your chain done. So grab your piece, and that's where your tail is. You're going to start just after the tail, pop your hook in and do a single crochet. Lift up your loop, ignore the stitch you are in, ignore the chain, and jump into the stitch on the opposite side. Loop on your hook. Let's try that again. On your hook, and pull that loop through to that stitch. Single into the first stitch you come to. Don't miss it or you'll be one stitch short. Slip stitch on the opposite side. So now it's every stitch thereafter. Okay. Pull that loop through. Single into the second. Slip stitch on the opposite side. Keep forgetting to tell you to lift up the loop, but that's okay. Single in the third stitch. You know you need to lift up that loop before you slip stitch over. There, like so. Pull the loop through. Single into the corner. 1. Pull up the loop. You should have a corner stitch right here. Put the loop back on and slip stitch through, chain 1, remove your stitch marker, find the chain 1 space in here. It's a little tight, but it's there. Loop on the hook. Oh, if I can do that again. Loop on the hook, pull the loop through like so, chain 1 again, jump back into the corner here with a single crochet, single 3 across, 1, 2, 3, corner. Corner is single, chain 1, single, stitch marker. All right, don't forget that stitch marker, you will need it for later. All right, and there you go. And then you're turning this way and you're doing your singles across. 1, 2, 3, another corner, but this is the one with the tail. Pop your hook in, just pop that tail at the back. If you don't have a tail, doesn't matter. Just do a normal single crochet in the corner, chain 1, repeat the process. All right, so what I want you to do, and we've done 3 already. What I want you to do is grab, I've got mine too far away, 2 more pieces, okay? So 1 and 2, I'm sorry, 1 more piece for the Kisslock purse, yep, and 2 pieces for the glasses case. Let's try that again, I can't count. 3 pieces for the glasses case. You need 6 for the glasses case and you need 4 for the purse. Okay, so anyone doing the Kisslock purse needs to just add 1 more. If you are doing the glasses case with me, you add 3 more. Okay, and you're doing that exactly the same way we did this last one right here. So what I'm going to do is give you a time right there where to start your next piece, and you're going to do that 3 more times. When you get to your last, well, no, I'm lying, 1 more time for the Kisslock purse and 3 times for the glasses case. When you get to the end right there, wait for me there and I'll show you what we're going to do next. Alrighty guys, here I am at the end of my piece. Now, if you are doing the Kisslock purse, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4 yellows. If you are doing the glasses case, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 yellows. Now we're going to start on our grey, okay? But before we do, we need to sort out some stuff that we're doing here, okay? What we did here, okay, go back to this piece here. What we would have normally done is added another yellow there. But in this case, we're not going to do that because we want to go on to our grey. So what you're going to do here is, you've done your single crochet and your chain 1 in that last space, yeah? You want to do a second single crochet in that corner space. Pop your stitch marker here. And this one's also a very important stitch marker. Whenever I say pop a stitch marker, pop a piece of thread, whatever you have, in that chain space. Okay, this is really important, otherwise you'll get it all in the wrong place and it will be lopsided. Yeah. So what we're going to do is single crochet in that very first chain right there. A bit tight, but it's there. Because that's where my knot is. Single one, single into the second stitch, single into your third, single into the corner, chain one. And what you're going to do here is, this is a bit tricky, yeah, is slip stitch in between these two stitches. There might be that little chain one space. You can probably just give it a tug and it'll go through the chain and maybe another stitch underneath. Pull that loop through like so and pull it through to the loop on your hook. Chain one. Pop a single crochet into the next corner like so. Right into the next corner and a single crochet into the 3 stitches across. 1, 2 and 3. Single into the corner, chain 1, slip stitch into the chain 1 space, pull a loop through. It's kind of really tight, but it's in there, yeah? Pull that through, chain 1, pop a single crochet into the next corner. All right, it's a very basic stitch, okay? So what we're going to do, I'm going to pop this on fast. You can slow your video down with your settings, but for me, I'm going to pop it on fast because we've already seen how to do it, but I'll show you one more time and then it'll go on fast. So single in the first stitch, the second, the third, single in the space, chain 1, slip stitch to join. All right, so those of you whom are doing the purse, you will only have one more left, but the rest of us will have these 3. So join us at the end of this third one. It's chain 1 again, single into the corner, and off we go. And the third stitch across, 3. All right, you may have seen me mess up here. I missed my first stitch and ended up short at the end of the row. So just be careful of that, yeah? All right, so here's our corner. What we're going to do here is pop our single crochet in there, started. If you've got a tail, just pass it at the back, yeah? Pull the loop through like normal and complete your single crochet. You're not going to go across here. You're going to chain 1. And this is where your grey comes in. We're going to start doing our grey down this way. All right, so grab your grey piece like you've been grabbing your yellows. Let's just pretend it's the yellow, yeah, and do your single crochet in that first space after the knot. Single crochet right there. 1, lift up your loop, and you know how to do this part. Slip stitch to join. Pull the loop through like so, and then single into your first stitch. Don't miss it or you'll be 1 stitch short. Lift up your loop, slip stitch across, single into your second, and slip stitch into your second there, single into the third, loop up, slip stitch into your third, pull the loop through, single crochet into the corner, pull up a loop, find the corner stitch right there. It'll be the final stitch left in the set. So you're going to pull that loop through, chain 1. I'll get close so you can see what I'm doing here. What you want to do is go right to the opposite corner right there. See that corner space there? Pop your hook in, pull that loop through. It's a little tricky. Chain 1, tighten up that area, and then jump back into the grey corner with a single crochet. Tighten it up as you go along. Make sure you're going into your first stitch across your grey. 1, oh, that's too loose. Don't leave it that loose. I'm just going to tighten it up a little, and make sure you go into your first single crochet 1, second 2, I might have done that too tight, but it doesn't matter, and third 3. On the way back it might be a little too tight to get into, but that's okay. And then single into your corner, chain 1, hold it there. Okay, you're going to grab another grey and attach it down this way. All right, so we're going to start our repeat row of how to attach the next colour. All right, so to start our repeat row, you skip the corner with your tail if you've got a tail, and single crochet into the next corner, pull up a loop, and like you did before, you're skipping the first stitch, your chain, and then you're into the first stitch on the opposite side, loop on, and that didn't go on. Let's try that again one more time. On and then pull the loop through like so. Single into the first stitch, pull up your loop into the stitch on the opposite side, pull the loop through, second, lift up, opposite side, pull the loop through. Just going to get a little bit closer here, because what we want to do is go into that third stitch there. So do your third stitch, all right, and then go over to your third stitch on the opposite side, like normal, nothing's changed there. And then you want to go into your corner on this side, lift up your loop, and let's see if we can move everything out the way. Go into your corner stitch here, you can see it. That's the corner of this grey. Pop your loop on your hook and pull that loop through. Now what you want to do is chain your 1 like normal. Lift up the loop. All right, and you want to go right over to, before we went to the opposite side this way, now you want to go to the opposite side this way. All right, so you've lifted up your loop, you want to go over to the opposite side, which is right there, in that look there. It is a big jump, all right, but that's the way this look is. And I can find the loop, we can pull it through. Hello, too many tails, we're going to talk about that in a minute. Okay, so grab your loop, pop it on your hook, yeah, and just pull it through and up and over. All right, make sure you haven't got it caught on anything at the back. Gorgeous. Flip the work back over. And you're going to chain 1 again and really tighten that area up, back into the corner with a single crochet. Little awkward this part, it's only awkward for the first time, later it gets better. Do your single crochet. Now when you go back over this side, you have your section here, and your first stitch, and you can see it, is right there. It's a big stitch, you can't miss it. Pop your hook in, pop the loop on. You're working along the yellow and the grey now. Pull that loop through and then go into the first stitch, being careful not to miss that first stitch right here. with your single crochet, easy to miss, and just grab the loop stitch on the other side, pop your loop on your hook and pull that loop through there like so. And then you head off and do your second, third, and then back into the corner again. Single into your next, slip stitch, oh, very tight stitch into your next, pull the loop through, single into your third, lift up your loop and pull the loop through into your third, single into your corner, lift up your loop, sorry about that stitch marker noise guys, on the table, and loop on your hook, pull through, chain one, lift up your loop, and you want to go into this corner right here. There, pop your hook, your loop on the hook, if I can get it, on the hook like so, and just pull the loop through like so, chain one, single into the space, one, and then single into the stitch, 1, 2, 3, and a single crochet into the corner. If you want to pop it over your tail, you can. 1 into the corner, chain 1, and get ready for the repeat process. It's, like I said, it's a little tricky, okay? It is a little tricky, but you start to get into the flow of things after a while, all right? So what you want to do is grab another grey there, and we're going to do one more, and then you're going to head off on your own and repeat the rest for yourself, okay? So let's just do the grey, this one grey. Gorgeous. So we got here, what we want to do is find, make sure your blue tail's at the back, is find the first corner, pop your hook in, pop a loop on your hook, pull the loop through, tighten it up, and then do your single crochet. Lift your loop again. You know this part right here, pull the loop through, single into your very first stitch there, lift up your loop, and slip stitch across into that first, and again into your second, slip stitching into your second on the opposite side, and then you do a single in your third, pull up the loop, slip stitch into your third on the opposite side, into your corner with a single crochet, lift up your loop, into the corner on the opposite side. That's the last stitch, if you think about it, really. Pull that loop through, chain 1, lift up your loop, and you want to go into the opposite side again. So turn it around, and if you want to give it a bit of a stretch on this side, you can. So there, right there is a space. It's a bit tight, but it's there. So what you want to do is grab your loop and pull that loop through, if you can, to there. Chain 1, make sure that chain is fairly tight, yeah, and then single crochet, so chain 1, yes, and then single crochet back into the corner, lift up the loop, go to the opposite side, find your first stitch, which is a little tight, but it's there. Be careful not to miss it, yeah? And pull that loop through, single into the first stitch, it's a bit tight here, on your grey. Pull up your loop and slip stitch into, and if you're not sure where it is, that's your corner stitch. Where is it? That's your corner. 1, 2, and 3 right there. Naughty loop keeps coming undone. Pop that on the hook and pull the loop through like so. Single into the second stitch, pull up your loop, go over to the second on this side, pull the loop through, single into the third, pull up your loop, third on this side, and 1 into the corner, pull up your loop, and 1 into the corner. Nice tight stitch there. You see me struggle with that one. Woo, very tight stitch. And just pull that loop through. Chain 1. Pull up that loop. You're going into the opposite corner of where you are. So go to this opposite corner right there. Pop your hook in the corner. Loop on the hook. And pull that loop through like so. Chain 1, single back into the grey and into the next stitch and the next and the next, and 1 in the corner, hide your tail, chain 1. I'm going to pop a stitch marker in here in this loop just to give you some instructions so you don't lose your stitch. Yeah, all right, so you did, let's bring that out a bit. You did that right there. So far what you've done is all of the yellow and 1, 2, 3 of the grey. What I want you to do is go back to the time I'm going to give you in a minute, and I want you to do your next square for those of you doing the Kisslock Purse, and for those of you doing the actual glasses case, you need to do 3 more squares. All right, so go ahead and attach that now. Meet me back here once you're done and we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Alrighty guys, so I asked you to do your greys 1, 2, 3, 4 if you're working on the purse, 5, 6 if you're working on the glasses case, but where everyone should be is right here. You may have continued this and moved on here, but I'm going to show you anyway. I've done my first single crochet in that corner, so I need to go to the opposite corner. It's the same here until we get to the last stitch, and I'll explain that in a minute. Oh, don't lose your thread. And we'll talk about losing the thread in a minute actually. So what I'm going to do is pull the thread through like normal, chain 1, lift up the loop, and that stitch marker stitch there, the chain space, we're going to pop our stitch, our hook, in the chain space, grab the loop and just pull that through like normal, chain 1, jump back into the corner like as though we're doing a normal section. So single 1 and then single 3 across, 1, oops, try that again, 1, don't forget that first stitch here, 2 and 3, and then single in your corner, just past the tail at the back, chain 1, a second single crochet in the corner, and then what you want to do is pop your stitch marker in there, like so, and then you want to single crochet across this way. So we have turned our work, all right? So we're going to do that. Single crochet in the first stitch. You've got 1, 2, 3. This one's not so tight, that's good. And the second and the third. And then you've got your corner. Single crochet into the corner and then you chain 1 and you slip stitch. Do you remember what we did here? We slip stitched in that tight area, and you can see the 2 loops, pull the loop through and pull it through to the loop. On your hook, chain 1, single crochet in your next corner, like so. And then you single crochet in that first stitch, don't miss it or you'll be 1 stitch short. 1, remember just to count 3 across, 2 and 3, and then you jump into your corner with your section right there. Corner, chain 1, slip stitch into that tight area. It's really tight for me. Chain 1 and corner. All right, so 1, 2 and 3. Corner, single. Just get a bit more in frame. Sorry guys, single crochet in that corner, chain 1 and slip stitch like so. Chain 1, single, and so on all the way across. I'm not going to let you head off on your own. I'm going to pop this on fast until we get to that corner. All right, so I want you to continue along the way till you get to that corner, and I'll meet you there in just a moment. And don't forget that first stitch right there, which will be very tight because that's where our little chain loops are. Yeah, and off we go. 1, all right, so I'm at the corner here. We're going to pop our last stitch in the corner, pass that thread over to lock it in, yeah, and do a single crochet. Chain 1. We're going to get ready for some instructions. Pop the stitch marker in your loop. Now, the reason we do that is because there's a few positives about this stitch which I love. I love so much how it looks nice and neat. It gives you that closed up look that you need, which is what we're looking for. Nice tight stitch to keep everything inside your purse or your glasses case. However, this stitch, if you were to lose a stitch here and you were to separate this, it will come all the way undone. It really will. It's one of those stitches that's very similar to knitting. Once you pull a thread, it's done, right? So my suggestion when you lose a stitch, and I'll grab a needle so you can see what I'm going to do. Just say we lost this stitch. I should have done it when we've done one. We could do one real quickly. We'll do the start of the next colour. And your next colour will be that purple, all right? And we'll talk about that in a minute. But let's just start it. We'll start the purple. So we'll single crochet, remember, in the corner after your tail. And do your normal single crochet there. Lift up your loop, go over here, go into that corner stitch and pop your loop on your stitch. We're going to do about 4 stitches and then I'm going to show you what I mean. Pop a single crochet in your first stitch, pull up the loop and slip stitch across, single into your next and slip stitch across, single into your last of the 3 stitches and slip stitch across. All right, and then I'm going to show you what happens when you lose a stitch. So what I'm going to do is pull up a loop, right? So let's say I lost this stitch. Let's do it close up so you can see what I mean. Oops, I've lost a stitch and I do that. And then all of a sudden I do this. Oh no, it's all come undone, all right? So be wary that this stitch will come undone if you lose it. It's like knitting, guys. It's very much like knitting. It's not really locked into place. Let's just get to the part where we need to be, exactly where we were before. And pop the stitch marker in your loop. And let's have a look at what we've got so far. All right, so you are initially here. You've worked your yellow, You've gone around, down, and you've gone back up to the grey. And obviously you want to pop your next colour, which will be the purple. All right. So what I want you to do is do that section. Do the purple for me. And I'm going to give you a time where you start from here and go around and right back up to here for the purple. I'm going to give you that time in a minute, all right? And I want you to start where we started with the light grey. Go down, go and attach the grey all the way through, turn at your corner, go all the way down, and then when you get to the end of your purple, meet me back here and we're going to talk about all the other colour sets. All right, so head off on your own, do that row starting from this time right here. Do the purple row, meet me back here once you're done, once you get right up to this part here. So you go all the way down and then back up the top, and then we'll talk about what we're going to do next. And just quickly, guys, I'm going to show you what you can do with these tails real quickly. Pick one that you like, doesn't matter. Let's pick one that's in an awkward spot right here. Let's pick a grey. I'm just going to show you real quickly what to do with the tails. Make sure you check your work is all correct before doing these tails. And I'm going to have to do this off air, thread this needle off air because it's really awkward. Let's try it one more time, see if it works. Yep, it worked. Bit awkward to thread, but there you go. All right, so we're going to grab this tail, and you've already crocheted over it with your corner stitch right there. What you want to do, and that's the stitch you've crocheted over it with, is skip over it into the next thread. Find some threads in the blue, or under the blue I should say. Make sure you can't see the needle from the front, gorgeous, and just pull this thread through like so. You can go across if you like a few stitches. I wouldn't over fuss too much, but make sure you have done it once and then twice. You don't have to do it 3 times in this case because this will not come undone. It's really crocheted over tightly. And not only that, it's going to be inside the lining for some of you. If it's not inside the lining, make sure you over thread that. Yeah, do it 3 times. Down one way, up the other, and back down again. All right, if that helps. So your job now is to complete that. All those tails, weave them all in before you return back, or upside down. Before you return back from for part 3, make sure all your tails are weaved in as well. Alrighty guys, here we are at the end of the purple row. And you would now have, for your glasses case, 6 squares down and 3 sets across. 6 down, 3 across. If you are doing the Kisslock Purse, you would have 4 down, 3 across. So yours would look like, actually we'll do it this way. It's easier to do it this way. Yours would look something like that. All right. But mine, because I'm doing the glasses case, looks like that. So everyone should be around here. Now this is where it gets a little different. So let's go back to our piece. This is our piece, if you want to do it that way, right? That's our piece, number 1. So that over here would be number 3, okay? So number 3 is there. Whoops, upside down. So each set, whether it's the Kisslock Purse or the glasses case, they all start the same. So initially when this is closed up, 3 and 1 will be attached. All right, so your job is to attach another row of purples onto the row of purples that we've just done. Number 4 would be your greys attached. Number 4's down here. And then number 2, sorry. And the number 2 will be your purples attached again. So your colours will look like that. Let's do it that way. That's how they will be joined. So you're not going to worry about the sets anymore. What you're going to worry about doing is joining the next row of purple, then do a row of yellow, grey, another row of grey, yellow, purple, another row of purple, grey, and then finally a row of yellow. Also, guys, I forgot to mention one thing. When you get to your final yellow set right here, don't do that last side. Don't crochet the last side all the way down because we're going to use that to join to the other side next week. All right, so don't join this part to the other side, just leave it undone, just get to this stitch marker right here and just leave it there, because when we return next week we're going to join the yellow with the yellow using the join as you go method, but not until next week. Okay, we need to do one more thing before we join our sides. And you're just going to continue up and down, up and down, up and down. You're going to assume that's one big piece, because when it's attached, it's going to be attached as one big piece. So all I want you to do, and this is where the instructions are, is to do your next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rows over from this piece here. So initially you'll start with your purple again. 2 purples, 2 greys, and then when these 2 join next week, we won't worry about that now, they will be joined as well. But for now, all I want you to do is do all of these sets all the way across. Meet me back here next week so that we can actually finalize our Kisslock Purse / glasses case, if you will. So that's pretty much what we're doing. I want you to do the 9 rows across. Once you're done, meet me back here and then we will talk about what we're going to do next. All right, that's pretty much the end of part 2, guys. Part 3, we'll be joining these pieces together and then we'll be adding the base, but not before if you want to add some lining. For those of you not adding the lining, don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. It'll be in the next video. I'll get you to skip over until you get to the section where you join everything together. All right. So in the meantime, just do those colors on this one right here, like this. It should be like that because we've done one. Yeah. So in the meantime, continue along those colors. I will leave the information at the end of this tutorial for you to do the next color. So I'll say do 1 row purple, yellow, grey, grey, yellow, purple, purple, grey, yellow. I'll leave all that information at the end of this video for you so you don't forget. You can also take a little screenshot right now. There you go. I've done that for you. Take that screenshot and that is the way you continue. Meet me back here next week and we will finalize our Kisslock Purse. All right, so thank you very much for joining us here at Wild Crochet Designs in doing part 2 of our Kisslock Purse, our Kisslock glasses case, whatever you want to call it. A very special thank you to the lovely Tina, Tim Tam Tina we're calling her lately because we have 2 Tina C's and she's the Australian Tina C, don't you love it? So we're just calling her Tim Tam Tina for now, all right? Thank you, Tina, for your colour choice in today's tutorial. A very special thank you to those of you who are watching today. And don't forget to like, subscribe, do all those wonderful things, guys. We have so many more tutorials out there and there are many more to come. Thank you very much for joining me. My name is Mary and this is Wild Crochet Designs. Ciao for now.